Now, the risks are still out there. Even if your state has legalized for recreational purpose and you're driving out on the highway and you smell it every morning on the way to work, there are still risks there. And if you take a look at letter A, there's a link to a news story that covers the idea that organized crime has infiltrated the lawful business to a significant degree. In fact, I was talking to somebody who was in the DEA who said, and this was 10 years ago, they said at one level or another, 100% of the operations in California had organized crime involved in some sense. And that was their estimate 10 years ago. And I think he said at that time, maybe it was 80% in some of the other states, but it was a very significant level of involvement, whether we're talking about the cartels or other organized crime. They're actually involved in that legitimate business operation at one level or another. So keep in mind that there is still a lot of risk there, even if at your state level it's been going for quite some time. Also, there's a lot of risk in the lack of uniformity of not only the laws themselves, but in enforcement. In some cases, there is more enforcement than others, and depending on the state that you're in, that does create a little bit of difficulty on your end. And then there's just the uncertainty in the industry, right? When we had that Sessions memo that came out, and you remember the Sessions memo, it kicked the legs out of the Cole memo. That was the basis of our guidance. There were a lot of financial institutions that decided, you know what, we're going to de-risk our portfolios, right? And that's the buzzword where they say, you know what, maybe we're going to get rid of all of them now. Or maybe they decide, you know what, we're going to, we have our marijuana related businesses that are always coming. They're always giving us the information whenever we need it. They answer their phone calls. They give us their information when we ask. And then we have these two or three that are just really hassle to deal with. And because we have this change in the right, we're gonna kick those three, our problem children, out the door. So then what do we have? We have a lot of marijuana related businesses that are used to having banking services that are now suddenly on the lookout. They have to go out into the industry and find a new bank. If they've been kicked out, they can't shut up shop. Once you have banking services, it's really hard to operate your business without them. So because of that volatility, what we saw is a lot of these, and because we were beefing up our enhanced customer due diligence, and because as an industry, we were starting to ask more questions, we were starting to implement the monitoring. In order to make those types of accounts work, we were charging higher fees, right? That's what I tell everybody. If you are going to get into this industry at all, you need to make sure that you are being compensated on a level where it makes all this extra effort worth it, okay? And so smaller and smaller banks were starting to be targeted.